So you want your English to sound super natural. Well, today I'm going to give you 3 phrases that we use all the time to give suggestions. All that is coming right up. Welcome to Eat, Sleep, Dream English. If you haven't met me before, my name is Tom and I teach fresh, modern British English so that you can take your English to the next level and achieve your life goals, whatever they may be. Whether it's to get a new job, to travel the world, to pass an exam, that's why I'm here. Now before we get started, remember to hit that subscribe button guys and hit that notification bell. That means that every time I publish a new video, YouTube will tell you about it. So do it right now guys. Okay, let's get going. So I'm going to give you 3 phrases that you can use when you want to make a suggestion to give your idea about something. So let's think of the context. You and your friend want to go to a restaurant, but you can't decide which restaurant to go to. How do you discuss this? What do you say to each other to give each other ideas? These 3 phrases are perfect for this situation. So you say to your friend, do you want to go for dinner tonight? And they say, yeah, sure, where should we go? Right, what do you say? Well, you could say, why don't we? And then the suggestion. So why don't we go to that new Japanese place? Why don't we go to that new Japanese place? So why don't we? Then the infinitive verb, and then your suggestion. Why don't we go to that new Japanese place? Now place there is just an informal word for restaurant. So why don't we go to that new Japanese place? So your idea is to go to the Japanese place. You're making a suggestion. Why don't we? Why don't we? Another example, why don't we try that vegetarian place on the corner? Why don't we try that vegetarian place on the corner? On the corner there is on the corner of the street. So why don't we? Then the infinitive, try in this case, and then the vegetarian place on the corner. So why don't we is a great way to make a suggestion. Alright, number 2. Second way to make a suggestion, how about? How about that pizza place in Soho? How about that pizza place in Soho? So how about, and then the clause, so that pizza place, in this case, that pizza place in Soho. How about that pizza place in Soho? You could also, if you want to use the verb, it would be in the ing form. So, how about going to that pizza place in Soho? How about going to that pizza place in Soho? So you see there, how about, then the verb in the ing form, and then the rest. So how about going to that pizza place in Soho? How about getting a takeaway? How about getting a takeaway? So again, how about getting the ing form and then a takeaway? So again, a great way to make a suggestion. It has the same meaning as why don't we? Perfect. Our third phrase, we could. We could. So could, the subject can change. So if you're making a suggestion to somebody else, you could say you could or they could. But in this case, in this situation, we could. We could go to that sushi place near your work. We could go to that sushi place near your work. So we could, and then the infinitive verb, so we could go. So we could go, and then to the sushi place near your office. So we could go to that sushi place near your office. Obviously it doesn't have to be in this context, it could be any other context. When friends of mine visit me in London, I like to make suggestions to give them ideas of cool things to do. For example, why don't you go to Hyde Park this afternoon? Why don't you go to Hyde Park this afternoon? So why don't you? Then the infinitive, go, and then Hyde Park. So guys, 3 amazing phrases that we use all the time to make suggestions. Perfect, natural English. Guys, this is what Eat, Sleep, Dream English is all about. Giving you natural phrases that I would commonly use, that everybody I know would commonly use, that you can use in your English to sound more natural, to sound like a local. Alright guys, let's practice these 3 sentences. Now, what I want you to do is imagine that I am going to visit you in your country. It could be Singapore, it could be Italy, it could be Ukraine, wherever you are in the world. So I want you to write a suggestion for me when I visit your country or your city. What one thing should I do in your city or in your country? Write the sentence, use one of the phrases that we've looked at today. And yeah, give me some suggestions, and then maybe one day I'll come and do that thing, okay? Sound good? Alright, so put your sentence in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, give it a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and remember, I'm back every Tuesday and every Friday bringing you fresh, modern British English. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. This is Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.